friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Booking agent claims writer in Robin Williams' contract revealed his heart for the homeless. Written by Adam Staten, read by Adam Staten. Beloved comedian and actor Robin Williams brought laughter and joy to millions, and it turns out he may have also secretly worked to help many who were struggling. Robin Williams was a supremely talented man who showcased his abundance of talent in several iconic roles. Whether it was in Patch Adams, Jumanji, Good Will Hunting, or Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams always shined bright on screen. He had a knack for hilarity and making people laugh. Robin may have also had a heart for the homeless. According to a Huffington Post article, one of the requirements for hiring Robin was that those companies had to find jobs for homeless people in the production. The clause was reportedly part of Robin's rider, a document that contains a list of actors and actresses' demands when hired for an event, such as a film or television production. Generally, actors, actresses, and musicians often make wild and outrageous demands in their writers. For instance, the legendary rock group Van Halen wanted all brown M&Ms removed from their bowls of the chocolate candies. Rapper Jay-Z demands 7 dressing rooms, while singer Mary J. Blige has to have her own personal, private toilet. Brian Lord, the president of the Speakers Series Bureau, who at the time was trying to book Robin for an event, wrote about the unusual clause in Robin's contract. Brian posted about the clause on his website, writing, "He was very surprised by what I found. He actually had a requirement that, for every single event or film he did, the company hiring him also had to hire a certain number of homeless people and put them to work," according to the Huffington Post. Brian went on to add that after reading Robin's philanthropic writer, he never watched a Robin Williams movie the same way. While we can't confirm that this writer existed in Robin's contract, we know he had a heart for the homeless. Back in 1990, Robin spoke in front of the United States Senate on homelessness. According to Newsweek, he supported a program aimed at minimizing homelessness. "What we've been doing for the last 4 years is basically putting a Band-Aid on a very gaping wound," Robin said in the clip. But this program has incredible possibilities to deal with keeping people in their homes. He also states, "The problem cannot be denied anymore. Isn't it to distribute your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor who are cast out to your house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you not hide yourself from your own flesh?" Isaiah 58:7.
Johnny Saddlebags.
Slippery Pete.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
Ain't but one thing to do.
Yup, start banking at community banks.
Say what now?
We'll grow this town bigger by doing business with community banks. That way our money will get reinvested locally and help small businesses grow and prosper.
Son of a saddle spur. This town will be big enough for the both of us.
Help your community grow. Find your community bank at banklocally.org.
Is life feeling chaotic? I get it. I'm Rachel Wojo, host of the Untangling Life podcast. Don't miss the passionate encouragement and faith-based resources you need to help you clear your head and calm your heart. As Shell says, it feels like Rachel always knows what I need to hear. She keeps it real and is so humble. Her podcast is just the cherry on top. Enjoy Untangling Life with Rachel Wojo on lifeaudio.com or your favorite podcast app now.
Man sees frail 94-year-old and gives up first-class seat on plane in Christ-like act of kindness. One man displayed an unexpected kindness and love when he voluntarily gave up his first-class seat on an airplane to an elderly woman. Traveling, either by car, bus, or especially airplane, can bring about the worst in people. Whether being in close, cramped proximity to someone for an extended period of time, the costs associated with it, or some other reason, frustration and anger are not abnormal. But one man, instead of flashing anger, showed something else entirely: Christ-like kindness. Flying on a plane comes with plenty of rules and regulations. Those who frequent the friendly skies, including flight attendants, know this to be true. Laura Fellner understands this and how flying can result in people not acting in the best of ways. One man's action during a flight in July of 2022 surprised Laura. She was moved so much by his actions that she posted about it on her Facebook page. On a flight to Washington, on which Laura was working, a 94-year-old frail woman was having difficulty getting to her seat on the plane, Laura writes. Additionally, it was unclear where the elderly woman was supposed to be sitting. At one point during the situation, a man in first class got Laura's attention. Instead of getting mad about the holdup, he had something else in mind. He had a suggestion, a touching and moving solution to the problem. "Can you please get her and put her in my seat and I will take hers?" Laura wrote. The man's generosity and kindness moved the elderly woman. It brought tears to her eyes. She also expressed her sincere gratitude for the kind gesture. "Never in my 94 years has someone known that for me," Laura posted. "Thank you, young man." Not only did the man's actions touch the elderly woman, but Laura writes that it impacted everyone else on the flight. It changed the attitude of everyone else on the flight. What a terrific but simple and sweet gesture that showed love to someone who benefited from it. Following the man's move, Laura has some advice for all. She advises people to be the hands and feet of Christ to others. May we all look for the little things we can do to help those around us and show Christ-like acts of kindness. And be kind to one another, full of pity, having forgiveness for one another, even as God in Christ had forgiveness for you. Ephesians 4:32.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
Hey everybody, I'm Dale.
And I'm Tamara.
And we're hosts of the Kainos Project podcast,
where we help you tackle ancient Christian truths in everyday settings.
The word Kainos means new, and that's exactly what we want to do on our podcast. Bring something new from what is old in our faith.
And on this show, you might hear us explore topics like what the Bible has to say about student loan forgiveness, discuss how the Satanic Temple affects our view of religious liberty in America, or even question why is it that so many people are having rapture anxiety.
To learn more about the podcast, go to lifeaudio.com.